Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the pre-market morning leap for Friday, February the 5th. My name's Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap Futures. This is a subscription room. We come together each morning to do these live sessions. We take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure, then we drill down, determine what our trade levels are going to be, what our targets are going to be, and what our main hypothesis is for the day. If you'd like to join us or come in for a free trial, I'll put up my contact information in just 1 second. We do live trading and live analysis during the course of the trading day. But before we get started, please read through the disclaimer. Nobody here at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. If you do want to come in, check us out. Send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. Unfortunately, this isn't a commercial venture. I do not have a website. I don't have a blog. Everything is done live right here in real time. If you want to talk about the market or ask some questions, don't feel free to call me. I love talking markets, talking tradings. 647-545-8065. You will need a Skype account. We use a Skype live chat, for our group. So if you want to join, it's very easy to open up a Skype account. Send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Of course, if you like this video, we do this every day. I've been putting them up on YouTube for, there's probably about 320 some odd days up there. Give you an idea of how our hypothesis play out. And if you like what I do, follow me on Twitter at Crazy2. All right, so yesterday we were looking for a rotational day. We had a neutral day prior. We were anticipating the possibility of getting a neutral day. I thought we'd actually go down and take out the overnight, the 1890 microcomposite VPOC. We also had a very low percentage day, yesterday. We ended up not taking out the overnight high or the overnight low, and we didn't do a neutral day. And we ended up doing a normal variation day. We only broke the IB to the upside. I had a good morning, and then I got caught in, I think it was this downdraft here, and gave back all my profits and then some, and then I worked my way out of the hole and ended up with a respectable profit on the day, not anywhere near my normal daily goal. But very choppy, 1904 on the microcomposite VPOC. They're really balancing out around this 1906 microcomposite VPOC. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. The news today did have a great non-farm payroll for myself. I shorted 475 and took it off at 97.75. Unemployment change, big miss in Canada. Not bad in terms of the trade balance. Unemployment rate came in pretty much expected. Hourly earnings, came out slightly ahead. Non-farm came out. It was a beat. It was a good beat. And the unemployment rate was lower. Why did I think the unemployment was higher? Oh, because it was higher in Canada. I've got my Canadian and U.S. mixed up right now. And then the trade balance came out pretty much as expected. 10 o'clock, we've got ID PMI. Other than that, it's pretty much our news is done for today. So each morning I like to start my day with a basic candlestick chart and my moving averages. I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA on all my charts. What I'm looking for is I want to get a feel as we come into the day where we are within the trends of the different time frames. I start with the monthly and work my way down. Beautiful trend, great slope and separation on the monthly. They violated in August and September. Take it back in October and November, challenge it in December, and then January and February so far, we've broken below and violated the upward trend that we've been in for several years now. So we do have a possibility of a downward trend. Now, there is this possibility of a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky, but it's still very early in the month. Remember, you always got to take your setups in the time frame. On the weekly, we do have the start of a downward trend. We have slope and separation to the downside. We are coming up and closing this little technical gap on the weekly, but the overall trend on the weekly is down. On the daily, we've had a strong downward trend for the last couple of weeks, and now we're consolidating and we're challenging it. And right now we're trading above the 9 and the 20, so we have violated the downward trend, but it seems to be a weak effort right now. So I think we'll see some more consolidation sideways here on the daily. On the 4-hour, no real trend. We've got consolidation here. We are below the 9 and the 20. Could possibly getting started for another down leg on this time frame, but right now it's more consolidation. On the 1 hour, same thing, consolidation. On the 30-minute, same thing, consolidation. And we did have the news dip down there. And we are trading below the 9 and the 20, so there's a possibility that we could start a downward trend. But this is basically consolidation. On the 15-minute, we have a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky setting up. This 15-minute bar will be completed in about 3 minutes or so. So I'd be watching and I'd be careful to the downside right now because we have a possibility of coming up and closing this gap. So the FUBAR, big spike down with spike in volume and a large buying tail, and then the Mr. Sneaky, the inside bar, and a little bit of a tech gap. So these are generally reversal patterns. Not always, but a high probability time. It happens to be one of my favorite setups in gold. Going to but the overall trend on the 15-minute is down. And then the 5-minute, okay, you can see we've got slope and separation. We came up, closed this tech gap that was created on the news, and right now we're rejecting the 9. So coming into the RTH open, we are seeing some weakness on the majority of the time frames, but we do have possible reversals setting up. I think we're going to see a pretty rotational day. As I had mentioned yesterday, I think that right now we're going to get stuck. And I was talking about this yesterday, so I want to just send these to the back. Okay. As much as we're seeing some weakness coming in, we're seeing a lot of buying tails. So every time they dip down into the 18s, we're getting strong responsive buying. So they're not capitulating yet, and we're not seeing true weakness come in. They're testing, but they're still finding buyers below us. Right now, the key here is we're in this distribution zone that's broken up into two. That goes from 1933 down to 70 and is really separated right here at the 975. But this whole area is very blunt, and that's why we're getting these strong rotations and these large ATRs and the large rotations that we're seeing. We're seeing average rotations of plus 10 right now on the 5-minute, and that's not normal. And it's because of all this undetermined fair value. The market has not determined, okay, what is fair price for the buyers and sellers. The overall price right now, both on the last 5 days and going all the way back to January 7th, this whole balance area that we're in, you know, the overall microcomposite VPOC, or most traded price, is the 1906, and we're not getting away from it very quickly. And I did want to, well, I just want to put my, I changed this and I don't know why. Oh, don't do this to me. Gang, I just froze up my charts. I know I've got a problem with my RRT when I try to, I'm actually going to have to shut down my charts for a second. So I'm going to stop the recording here for a minute and then reboot. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I was trying to change this chart. Hopefully it'll work this time. Just want to make this more prominent. There we go. So we're in this balance area, which the value area is between the 1823.50 and the 1864. And this whole area, the most traded price is the 1906, but the smaller time frame as well, the last 5 days, and we've had some gaps and we've had some big wicks, it's 1906 as well. So I don't think we're going to get away from here. So really, the last few days, my hypotheses have been rotational day with inside of this area. Now I'm taking it up to 33 because we've got this upper distribution between 975 and 33, and then we have below that, we have between the 0975 and the 70. You could even separate it even further using this 375. I was actually trading off of this 375 yesterday, and I'll probably use it as a key trading level again today. Above it, I want to be in long to 06 because that's the magnet right now. Same thing with 09. Below 09.75, I want to be in it towards the magnet. The magnet's going to be a strong target today, above 375 and below 975. I think you could just take the trade almost every single time. Once we're below the 375, then we're in this lower distribution, and I think we chop around and we could get stuck in the wicks down here, even all the way down to 70. Our downside ATR target, believe it or not, is still down. I think it's at 64. I'll bring it up in a minute. So basically, I'm breaking my my hypothesis into two parts. Below 0375, I'm looking for rotation in this distribution, and above 975, I'm looking for rotation in this distribution, with the whole range being possible between the 2350 and the 64. Our upside ATR target's up at 1944, I believe. So we do have range extension. But above the 2350, then I'm looking for a trend day up. And below the 64, I'm looking for a trend day down. Otherwise, I think we're going to have another day of rotation in the upper distribution or the lower distribution, or even just testing, dipping inside of each. So it's going to be a tough trading day, I think. It was yesterday in a lot of ways. At least it was for me, because they're making fast rotations and not making clean auction, and is the best. It wasn't a very clean auction, is what I can best describe. And some of the probabilities didn't play out as we anticipated, but that's trading. So taking a look at the overnight, as it stands right now, our overnight high is up at 1450. I don't think that's going to change. we still have 20 minutes, and we're only about 6 points off of the overnight low. So they've been challenging one side or the other coming into the RTH session and expanding it. But right now, our overnight low is 95.50. Based on the current overnight high and lows, our daily ATR target is down here at 65. Now, that's interesting because our weekly ATR, based off of that 1940 level, is all the way down here at 65. So we still have range to get down into the 65 and test that whole value area of the longer term microcomposite down to that 63. And is this gap down here still at 61 and a quarter. So below 70, I'm going to start, thinking, a test of that value area, microcomposite value area low, and a test of the daily and weekly ATR. Our upside ATR target is above our weekly. It's at 44.50. Our weekly is actually at 39. And we saw that happen last week where our daily got above the weekly, and we ended up taking both out and going up. So just keep that in mind. Our VPOC is currently right here at 09, but I think it could shift, depending. It could shift down here to the 1950, or it could shift here to 03. If somebody can keep an eye on that for me, let me know. But as it stands right now, it is at 09. And we're, basically, if we open up in this area, we're going to be opening up in range and in balance. There's no real, LVN to pay attention to here. I mean, there's this one right here at 02, but they've dipped in it pretty deep, so I don't think it's as strong as I'd like to see it. So that's about all the information I need from overnight. Pretty tight for the ranges that we've been getting. A pretty tight range overnight, believe it or not. I can't believe I'm saying that, but with the ranges that we're seeing in the Globex, that is a pretty tight one. So right now we're coming up on the 375. I'm going to use the 375. I don't think the scene of the crime, the Fed number, is important anymore because we've sliced through it so many times. So I'm looking at the 375. Above the 375, I'm looking to go into that key target and key magnet, and I'm going to just change this to reflect that. So above there, I'm looking for a move into the 06. And then on the other side of that is the 775. It's the midpoint. We've got the VWAP at 7 1/4, and we've got the close at 775. So if we get above the 375 and start making our move, we're likely to go through this whole little distribution zone between the 375 and the 975. And test both sides of it on the open. It's going to be an interesting open because we're going to open up right in this balance zone. There's not a lot to lean against. I want to clarify something. These 375 and 975 levels are trade areas, but they're not real edges. Okay. All I'm using is the hypothesis that if we get above the rejection or below the rejection levels, that the magnet is going to pull us in, because we're going to be looking for those sellers, and they're likely to go to the 6. But you got to be careful, and you're probably going to have to give it a little bit of room because they'll probably dip in and come back out. I mean, we just did that. What did we just get to? We got to 450. So you get in, get funded, and then lay off risk, and and hope that you get the push into the 1906. But they're I would call them weak edges. but I'm going to use them. You got the naked VPOC here at 0450, and then below the 03, you got the 1900, but there's not a lot to lean against right there because we've been slicing through it. I'd be using the 1950 as a target below 03, and then I would use the 9850 as my edge, the value area low. Below that, I'm looking for the overnight low to get taken out at 95.50 and a test of the range low down here at 93.75. Below 93.75, it's all about that 90 and then the 85, right? 85, 90 and 85. Remember, 90 is the balance area that we accepted price to move up towards that 15 16 area, and then we settle and we're accepting value in around the 6. Look at, we just got back above 03. You could have got in and getting a move to 06. So 85. I'm actually going to move this to 80. I'm going to use the 86.75 because it's the CHVN. And then the CPR percentage of range price is down at 81.75. And then I'm going to use the 78.75 as a trade area. And then below that, we get into all our regular targets. And a key line in the sand for me is below 70. Below 70, I think we take out the weekly ATR target down, the daily, and dip down. Break through that 64, and take out this naked gap. I actually think that you'll probably get a bigger move. See, look at we already hit the 6. I'm going to like to take that trade. So those are my levels below. Above the 975, look for, the 775. What is that? I got messed up here. I'm not using the 775. I'm using 975. And actually, it's going to be a double trade zone right here, okay? Between 975 and 11, I don't want to take a trade. I want to be short below 975. I don't want to get long until we're above 11. But we do have a target right here at the 775. And we get the midpoint. We've got the naked close, and we've also got the gap. But I would think they'd come up into the 975 and test the other side of that balance. Above the 11, main target above is going to be the 1350. You could also use this. Don't need that. You could use, well, the 13's gone, isn't it? 1275, you could see a little bit of resistance. I don't think it's going to be that much. I think you'll get your overnight high taken out. Then above that, I'm going to use the 1775.18 CLVN. And that's an IB high as well. And you can, actually put a target in here. I use the overnight high, but you've got the 1550 CHVN. And then above there, we're getting into the upper distribution up here. I'd be looking at the 22 area, which is one ticket above the range high. And then the key line in the sand is going to shift down here to 2350. Because that puts us outside of the longer term balance that we're in. Look at we're going right to that other side. Did we get to the, Did we get to the 975? We got to the 1050. That was a beautiful trade, and I didn't get to take it. Oh well. And then above 23, 27 and a quarter, a month open, the naked gap at 30.50, 33 as some resistance, our weekly ATR target, and our next key line in the sand, which is up at 1941. And then our daily upside target at 44, 49.50, 52 and a quarter, 57, and believe it or not, we still have that inverted head and shoulder. That inverted head and shoulder did not get violated with the break of 51 and a quarter, so it's still in play. That inverted head and shoulder on the and the fact that they're holding the 19 so well overnight leads me to believe that if we don't get below value today, that we're going to get the rotation, a rotational day with an upside bias, and possibly even turn this into a rally into the weekend. Looking at the Keltner right now, the upper line is at 1910, so there's your 975. The lower Keltner is at, the center line is at 450 with the VWAP at 5, your magnet at 6. We're trading right there. Below the 474 and a quarter, that'll probably put you below the 375. A move down to the developing value is that target at 1950, and then the lower line is sitting at that 9850, which is our value area low from yesterday. Quick look at gold. Gold broke out, went up and hit our next target up here at the 53, 54 area. We're trying to accept value up here in the 55. Next resistance is a 60. Remember, the next big target above us is all the way up here at 66. I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't stay in my gold longer and take profit, but I haven't been able to focus on getting back into it. I keep waiting for them to give us a better pullback that I could get long gold again, and they're just grinding it up slowly. So, but I don't like to trade gold on Fridays because I don't like to leave positions open unless I got a lot of Theo built up. So, if they go up to the 65s, 66s today, we would have completed half our move up into this 1200, which is my main target in 2016 for gold. Below the if they don't hold the 53 level, look for them to come back, test the value area low, probably test the range that they just broke out of, and come back down into this 45, 46 area. Anything below 43, I think we now will start to get a bit of a retrace and move down to target 36, 37, but more likely back down into the 27 area. But I'm not expecting gold to do a lot today. I think that it's going to balance up out here and probably chop around between 60 and 48, 60. So that's what I'm looking at in gold. That's going to complete our pre-market session. Remember, we're putting the QLTP out now. It's still back in beta. Howard and I still got to make some adjustments. We would love to get some feedback and some recommendations. So make sure you go and download it out of the QL chat and take a look at it and give us your observations, your recommendations, and any mistakes that you see on it. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.